Hey, this is Tracy with Color Me This, episode 52. This is my February haul video. I am going to start with an item that I have been waiting for a year. This is the first set of the Distress Watercolor Pencils. The first release was last January, and it was sets 1, 2, and 3. I have only opened set 1, and I have been waiting for these because I like to get crossover products that will work in my card crafting world as well as work in my coloring world. So at long last, sets 4, 5, and 6, which will be the full complement of 72 colors plus a 73rd color. The reason behind the 73rd color is that Picket Fence is a white, and they put it in set 1, and there was one last set remaining, or one last pencil remaining rather, that they had to sell as a single. So far what has arrived is set 4 and 6 that I bought from, and I want to give credit to them, so I had to look them up and start this video over again. It is an online art supply store called joggles.com, the heart of art. And so they only had 4 and 6 in stock. The discount was at 20% off. And I'm in Florida. I don't know if they have a physical presence in Florida because I did not get charged sales tax. And I know there's funky rules about when to get charged sales tax depending on the presence of the company. So set 5 I found on eBay for almost as inexpensive. I think I got them for 15 to 18% off. And so I think I did get charged sales tax and no shipping. So Joggles does, if you buy a certain amount, it's half off of shipping, 50% off. So I think it ends up to be within pennies of each other. Set 5 is here. I am over a mile away from our mail center, and I figured I was going to go ahead and proceed with this because today I am not going to open these up and swatch them. And now that I have the full set of 72 colored pencils, I can't wait to do an actual unboxing and swatching. So that will be coming up in a future episode. I do plan on doing half pans of them and making them semi-soft, and the half pans will be used for watercoloring, and I've seen that done from a few different people on the art side, on the card crafting side of things. So I am very excited that those came the minute I'd been waiting till January, and sure enough, Tim Holtz did a video on them. I watched it and knew I was going to have to run around and find them. When I bought those, I was a little bit short of the $50 because I think I paid $21 for each set, 21 and some change. So I needed to order a few more items, and I will be swatching these because there's just a few of them. I have even prepared my swatches. This is my Stickles collection. Let's see if I can, do I have to, oh, I am short a couple. I'm going to go up with the camera just a little bit. I used to be able to actually zoom in and out on the camera itself, but I'm now using a video setting that I can't do that any longer. So this is my current collection. I used to have right here in this empty spot, I used to have turquoise, but that dried out and I didn't even get to make a swatch for it. So I have not been able to find turquoise. So I bought sea glass, and I've actually pre-labeled these, and we're going to test these guys out. I was doing some sort of a W, I think. So let's just, and then a line. So I can do color matching if I need to. The next one is Steel. It's a very pretty, I would call it almost a purpley blue-gray. Yeah, it is a purpley blue-gray. I have the swatch on black and white. Next is lime green. Green is my favorite color, and you'll see that on all of these, the only green I have is, ironically, green. So I picked up another green, lime green being my absolute favorite color. Next is mercury glass. Because all of my various glinting white colors are up at the top here, I am going to start with the colors coming up from the bottom and up. I did add this 3D fabric paint. That's one of my favorite. It's not even a Stickles, but it's my favorite kind of a glinting snowy effect. So that's mercury glass. Kind of looks almost a platinum color. And then one metallic, rose gold. And I don't even have technically a silver here. The closest to silver I would have thought would be steel, but it looks a little too blue. There's always going to be more of everything that I can get. That's the way these hobbies go. I was explaining to a coloring group person that back when I had horses and I had, like 5 saddles and 30 bridles and umpteen million blankets and sheets and hoods and different things, I used to show quarter horses, and I don't remember being half as organized. I just would have stuff. I had show stuff, so it's not like it was at the barn. The only stuff at the barn was work type equipment, and then grooming and medicines and stuff, and supplements, grain, and sheets and blankets. Everything else was at home. I did have a trailer in the later years, but I didn't leave my stuff in the trailer. I lived in Washington State. It was too wet and moist there. Probably here in Florida, that's the same situation. But I just never remember being so organized as I am these days with the current crafts I've got going on and activities. So there is the new colors: steel, lime green, mercury glass, rose gold, and up here sea glass replaces the turquoise. And I'm going to carefully set these aside so they don't get something set upon them until they're safely dry. And my black swatch, now that I look at it, see how much space I put between the words. Look how close these are. So we're going to see if I can make everything fit. Turquoise is whited out. Now we have sea glass written in its place. I am very excited. I had to do the detailed walkthrough of the Distress watercolor pencils, and because I plan on using them mostly for backgrounds and then card making, I don't know what I'm going to do for the detailed walkthrough for them, whether I'm going to pick an image. I have some coloring pages already printed that were for my 10-Mit glitter pens. Maybe I'll use one of those images. I've already got copies of them, but they are on a watercolor paper. Okay, steel. Lime green. mercury glass. Okay. This is the one that looks almost platinum-ish to me. Now we're getting pretty tight. So I won't punch the holes until these dry. And then rose gold. A little tight, but it all fit. Okay, so right above green is sea glass. That is new. That's a really pretty color. It's got a lot of green in it. Steel, which is the purpley hue gray, lime green, mercury glass, and rose gold. And I'm going to set these in yet a different location. And I am actually getting too warm, so I am wearing a hoodie. And it's, let's see, how warm is it in here? I have my own little thermometer. It is 75 degrees in here. So I'm going to pause for a minute and get situated for the next items. All right, I bought 3 coloring books. They were, I noticed when I was looking at the Small Victories, which I got from Amazon, that there was the buy one, get one for half off. So I was only going to get the Small Victories, but I ended up getting 2 more, and they're very special books that if I hadn't found something like them, I probably would not have gotten 2 more. I'm not a big coloring book person. I like printing out my own pages, but I was thinking with the Joanna Basford Small Victories, I had been reading how people thought it was way smaller than they were expecting, which ironically set my expectations to this being more like postcard size or like 5x7 card size. It even says, something I read about it gave me the impression that it was very small. Well, it says here, maybe this was where I read it. Welcome to the world of Small Victories, a place where good things really do come in small packages. So I was surprised because I am an A2 size card maker, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I really had this in my mind down to very, very small. So I was quite pleasantly surprised that it was this large. Let me even get the measuring tape. Now that I'm going to get you guys all concerned, let's just measure the darn thing. It is 6 by 8. So that is way bigger than I was expecting. And my theory with it, I thought I would take this book and perhaps when it comes, I will color it. It'll be the first coloring book that I will actually color in, and I will make myself go from the very beginning, which the first page that you can color is the inside of the cover. And perhaps I will march my way through this, and I might even tack on the challenge of coloring it in videos. So the very first thing that I noticed is that there is this 1/4 of an inch that is really stiff. Then you have these little sections of binding that are actually sewn. So here's the center of one, and you can see the threads. So I have, for my card making, I like to make really layered up cards, but I know when they go through the mail, they can't be more than 1/4 of an inch thick. So I have 2 8-pound weights of my husband's. And then I've made a little area over yonder where my coloring stuff is that is dedicated to flattening my cards. So if I'm doing a bunch, like during the holidays, I'll do really fancy Christmas cards, but then I will put them all in their envelopes with the address and the stamp, and then I will press them all overnight so that they all will fit in the 1/4" jig that I have, so that I know that my cards are going to make it through the system and not get kicked back or not get charged extra postage. So I did that with this book to take care of this 1/4" thick so that I could get into, like, these little flowers are very close to the ends, and with that 1/4" I would not have been able to color every one of the flowers. This side would be fine. And I noticed some other images that went very close into the center. And if I am going to actually color in this book, I need to have it get flat as much as possible so that I can get in there into the seam, and like that is even really close. I love the dachshunds. So I notice on this page when I was going through it, there's a little bit of shadowing. I think once it's colored it won't be obvious, but I can tell that the printer had a little problem there. The other thing interesting, and maybe it's just an illusion, it looks like this side is a little bit whiter and this side is a little bit more yellow. I don't know, do you guys see that? It looks really obvious to me. And it's a different section. This is the end of one section, and this side is the beginning of the next section. I think that this page had a problem when they processed it. Anyhow, I won't even bother with a flip through. I know these are super popular and they're a few months old now, so like I'm way behind. Oh, this is where I slid the weight. I had it open on this page, and one of the weights, they're like a steel weight. Oh, and look at that. I do see a flaw, some double registry down here and on this page. So that is interesting. I'll have to look through the whole book very carefully and see if there's enough registration issues. I have not looked through every single page. See, even that is a double shadowing. What do you guys think? Would you be returning this for a better, more clear copy, hoping that it doesn't have this stuttering? Yep, and that one's doing it too. It is not perfect for sure. Okay, so I found 4 pages, and then 2 of the 4 aren't the whole image, they're just a portion of the image. The things that I really love to color, all these mini things, I think those are really fun. So I will be going through this evidently very carefully, since I just received it, and see how many pages. I'll put little marks. What would you guys do? Do you think that 4 pages of double registration is enough to return it? Now that I have carefully flattened the spine so that I can actually get to the center images. Interesting. Okay, moving on. The next 2 books are, they kind of I'm dating myself. But when I saw that I could buy a Dr. Seuss coloring book, which this was like the most exciting set of books for me as a kid, loved them. I was always into anything fanciful, fantasy world, loved it. So they are images from the books, the actual images. And I thought, how fun would it be to be able to take the Cat in the Hat page here, and I probably won't color in it, but I can make myself some pages from it and color them and do like practice with different sets, different colors. You know, it doesn't really matter when I'm doing like combo testing and different things with all of the different sets of pencils that I have. So if I wanted to test some stuff out, having these pages, you know, something other than the typical flowers. Then there's the images that have all of these things on the shelves, like the Japanese books, and I love this page so much. It is just awesome. There's a little boy looking into the closet, and the closet is all wonky and has fun critters in it. So I think I am going to have a lot of fun coloring these pages any way I want. So anyhow, like I said, it's buy one, get one half off, and these were not overly expensive, I didn't think. And this is about the size of the Kirby Roseanne's books, and the pages are very thick. They are on both sides. Here's Horton, here's a Who. Oh my goodness. So I just thought I would have a lot of fun with this. I like all the repeats, the repetitive. That's quite the tail. Oh, we have a traffic jam here. Again, being able to try out a bunch of different pencils. Trying out a bunch of pencils. I watched a really good video the other day. I wish I remembered her name. She was doing all of the colored pencils that she owns, and at the end of walking through her sets, she then did a double-page spread in a book that had all these different little house items, and she did 2 colors of each from each set, and then talked about how she felt about the different. She wrote notes, and it was very surprising, the one that the pencil set that she liked the best. It was the least expensive set, which was so cool. And if you want to know, it was the Color set, and I don't think it was the Black Barrel Colors. I believe it was the 300, and those have the full color barrels. And I really like the Colors as well. I'm very impressed. I will definitely have to worry about their light fast testing and light fastness being in Florida with the sun. I'm not going to be able to color a masterpiece to hang on the wall with them, but I can definitely use them for coloring pages. So I love this. This is a lovely scene, 2-page spread. And I realize you can't see everything. Oh, and look at that. These just bring back memories. Oh, that's funny. Sometimes I need this. Make up your mind. I struggle when I'm trying to make a purchase that I need to be very careful with my money. It is a struggle. The struggle is real. Now I see the sunlight popping in. That's what you're seeing here. It's getting late. So there's a I am the Lorax, I speak for the trees. Anyhow, wonderful. Dr. Seuss. Something fun that brings back my childhood. And then here's this one I don't think I was as happy with, but another blast from my past. The Bob Ross coloring book. I think they have more than one. This one has the word universe at the bottom. And this one has these small images of his paintings, and the line art in here is based on the paintings. And this was originally first published in the US in 2017. So this has really strict rules, by the way. It's always important that when you buy books and things, coloring books, that you read what the rules are. And so this says, no part of this publication may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, or otherwise, without prior consent of the publishers, which really means I can't copy this page and practice. It means that if I were to be true to this book, I would be coloring in the book and only in the book. What do you guys think? Is that how you read that? So there's these quotes, and there is not artwork on both sides. So it's a quote and a piece of art. So this piece of art is very heavy black. For me, I probably would be trying to hide the dark lines in some way, shape, or form, and then I should be able to find a cabin and 2 trees on. Now there's also a page of imagery on the back, so I'm looking for this image because I haven't really analyzed this much. So I am not seeing I was looking for the fence here and the house or barn or shed, whatever it is, and I don't see it on either page. So I might investigate this a little bit more and kind of come up with a game plan for how I might do some coloring in these pages. So this type of art, I think, has a potential for me to do some coloring. I might do some gesso or something to really lighten up the lines and then color over the top. And here are 2 images. I like this one. This one, again, a little too heavy for me. A couple of when I was flipping through, I like this one. I think I could color that and hide most of the lines. This one is very doable. I should probably hide the sun. I will pause and come right back. All right, I'm back. So when I read that this was line art that was made from his paintings, and my type of coloring when I'm not doing coloring pages is to do realism from images, I figured I would use the images of his paintings, but these are quite small. I don't know if there's another resource that I can go to these paintings. Oh, I found it. This is the image from the one I was looking up for. Right here. So here it is. And here is the art. But the artwork, I'm used to being able to take the original, the photograph, and zoom way in. So I'll have to, like I said, this is just, it seemed like a fun thing. And these were books from my past or a painter from my past. And so I didn't really have a committed expectation of what I would do with them. But, like I said, some of the art has nice thin lines, and that would be the art I was interested in. I thought, this is funny. We have a candelabra with Bob Ross's face, and then some flowers. And this is like a China. Here's a little scene, a little Swiss windmill. I guess it's not a Swiss windmill. Is that Dutch windmill? A Dutch windmill. And there's this scene. I could probably paint and color over this. This looks like it was done on drafting film lines. And I wish the trees lines, the bark lines, would be as light as these other lines. So some are pretty rough. Anyhow, so these quotes are kind of funny. Okay, shake off the excess and just beat the devil out of it. I believe they are all fun phrases that Bob Ross has said. This is a 2-page spread, and they don't look connected, really. I don't think they are connected. And then there's another quote. So that is it. That is everything that I purchased. Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls. Also dating myself. So that was my haul for February. I don't typically buy a lot. I just had this special purpose for the Victories book, Small Victories, and that's when I stumbled upon these buy one get one half off. and I looked at the list of books for coloring books, and I saw the Dr. Seuss book first. Then when I saw how cute it was, I went, okay, well now I need to find another one. And I ended up with the Bob Ross book as a second item. And then the only reason why I got the Stickles was because of the Distress Watercolor Pencils. So I typically would not have bought this many things. So this was a pretty big haul month last month for me, and enough to keep me very busy. So that is all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts on the couple of questions that I had about the flaws in the small victories book, and then the what do you think of my two fun books that I got that just mean something to me, that the younger folks might not know what it is. And I hopefully will be back in the next couple of days, perhaps, with the Brutfuner 120 squares, which I've owned for a long time, so I'm only having to swatch them on my current paper. I ended up finding the original swatch format of the color family, and then I found another one, and I'm filling it in just for fun. So there's the Jazzy Doodle Designs is the person I have used a lot of their color family order, but it's not what I found when I first got the Brutfuners. So I was using a different one, and it was really hard to find, so I almost did not find it. And I decided to try one last time, found it, so I am doing 3 swatches on the current paper that I have been using. Love the pencils. They are just, now I know why, I remember why I really liked them, and I've done a lot of coloring with many different kinds of pencils since I used them. And I found a piece of art that I maybe was 3/4 of the way done with, and I finished it. So I'm very proud to have finished it. It only took me 11 months to finish it. I started it when my family was here last year visiting. So that hopefully will be coming in the next few days. Be sure to do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Sharing is really important right now. Share with your coloring friends if you think that my content would be helpful to them, and if you find it helpful. Be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.